When my mom died, I had all these questions and nobody to answer them, or no one that actually understood grief to answer them. So today we're going to be doing part 2 of our Q&A, where I'll be answering questions that were submitted by listeners like you. Even if you didn't submit a question, hopefully you find a little nugget of knowledge throughout this episode. And hopefully we'll do another one of these in the future. So if you have a question that does not get answered today, put it down below in the comments. All right, let's talk about it. Welcome to part 2 of our Q&A. And today I want to start with one of my favorite questions that might actually make me cry. PS_crafts_Winnie, WNY. I'm going to say Winnie there. Says, I'm new here, so I want to know more about you. I feel so connected to you through grief. What's the most prized trait you know you have because of your mom? If you're not watching via video, know that there are tears forming under my eyes. What a beautiful question. And thank you so much for asking it. A little bit about me, you might ask. My name is Gabri. I'll be 30 in October. I know, believe it or not. I know I don't really talk about myself with all of you, so I know you don't know these little minute details about me, but I'll be 30 in October. I lost my mom to a sudden heart attack after a 2-week-long coma when I was 25. And whenever my mom died, I just wanted so badly for someone to talk about it, honestly. And when I couldn't find it, I knew what I had to do. I do have a normal 9 to 5. I also went to Berklee College of Music. I love to sing. I have a dog. His name is Walter. I'm just a normal girl with a dead mom. And so anyways, a little bit about me. And the second part of this question is, what's my most prized trait I know that I have because of my mom? I'm going to answer this in 2 parts. Part 1, I have my mom's eyes. And I always have had my mom's eyes. And when I say that I look like my mom, y'all, I look like that woman. Comparison of my mom and I that I'll put somewhere. It's crazy how much I look like that woman. And I'm not just saying that. My dad's a scientist. And when I was born, everyone was like, this is a science experiment. She looks so much like Jennifer. So I look just like her. But that's one of my most prized traits, is being able to look like my mom. And I think, as sad as it is that I won't get to watch her grow old, I will, in a way, get to watch her grow old by looking in the mirror. I think that's really beautiful. The trait that I have from her within me is my ability to see people. She was really good at just making people feel really seen. And that's something that she taught me that I really, really love about myself, and that I love that she gave me, is that I'm able to see people for who they are and what they need. And I was never able to do that before she passed. But I do know that ability came from her. So thank you for asking. That's so special. I really appreciate that question so much. Next comment comes from a user named Sissy. It's sort of crazy how grief can be totally different person to person. I thought I would grieve the same, but my mom was different than my husband. And she says that she cries watching my videos. I love that. It's beautiful. Grief is different person to person. It's interesting. From what I'm reading here, you not only are grieving your mom, but you're grieving your husband. And I have found that grief looks so different because your relationship with those people were different. I like to think that love is the center of grief, and that love that you had for your husband looked different than the love that you had for your mom. And so you're absolutely right. It is so crazy, different person to person. I lost my grandmother about a year, maybe 2 years after my mom died. I don't even remember, which is so crazy, right? And I was close with that girl. But anyways, I grieved my grandmother very differently than I grieved my mother. And I think time has something to do with that too. I feel like I would have grieved my grandmother very differently if I had lost her before I lost my mom. And I don't know if that even makes sense, but I think it has to do with relationship. I think it has to do with timeline. It all makes it very different, because my grief, I knew what my grief was when I lost my grandmother. So I was able to handle it differently. Thanks, Sissy, for watching my videos. And I'm sorry that they make you cry, but crying is not for the weak. So I'm kind of happy that I made you cry. Crying is good. This comment says, not wanting children anymore and getting married. These were experiences I envisioned and planned with my mom. My mom suddenly passed the 6th of February. Currently, I'm going after the doctor with my lawyer. My mom will still be here. That's a long comment. And I just want to say thank you so much for sharing it. I want to focus in a little bit on this comment where you talked about not wanting children anymore and not wanting to get married, not have all these experiences. I talked about this a little bit in the previous Q&A, but I never wanted kids growing up. Not even with my mom. When my mom was alive, I didn't want kids, which is so crazy, right? because now I want kids so bad. I want kids so bad because I can't wait to give them the love that my mom gave to me. And it is like such a goal and an honor to be able to raise kids with what she taught me. And I often think how easy it is to not want kids because she's not here to help you. But I can't wait to have kids because of what she taught me. And I can't wait to feel her so heavily in that. And it excites me. And that's just my perspective. And that might look different for you, but it's just really interesting because that changed for me when my mom died and I didn't have her anymore. Anyways, thank you for your comment. That's my perspective on it. She's going to be there even more when you have kids. Rebecca says, this is practical, but my mom died 3 months ago and my dad's going to turn her phone in and I want to know how to keep her number so her face doesn't disappear from all my texts. That's really sad. Okay, a few practical things. Your text won't go away. Your ability to text her just might. Her name and her contact won't go away either. So those things will stay. Your ability to call her and hear her voicemail will change. And your ability to, like I said, send her text messages will change. And it's interesting because I read through grief threads a lot. And there was one that I saw where this girl texted her dad's number for years. And eventually the guy on the other end, there's a new guy on the other end, and responded and was like, hey, I know I'm not your dad, but these texts have always meant so much to me. I've never mustered up the courage to respond. I lost my daughter. So it kind of felt, I'm like tearing up. It kind of felt like every time you would text me, it'd be her updating me on her life, even though she's not here. So I really loved that. Just know that there will be another person on the other end of that eventually. It's going to be a really hard day, but her contact and all that won't go away. What I would encourage you to do before the phone's turned off, if you still have time, is record her voicemail, if it was her voice, so that you still have that. Bria says, my mom has been gone for 21 years and I don't have the best relationship with my dad. How do we navigate finding those things we are without in other people? Maybe it's first naming what traits or supports I feel like I'm missing in relationships. Bria, number one, 21 years, you're an inspiration. You're an inspiration, friend. 21 years is a long time. I want to answer the second part of this question first. Maybe it's naming first what traits or supports I feel like I'm missing in relationships. Yes, I think generationally, we were never taught how to or for me at least, I don't know about you, but for me, I was never taught how to put name to emotion. So now at my big age of 29, almost 30, I'm having to relearn what it is that I'm missing. And I think that you hit the nail on the head here, Bria. Really think about what it is that you are missing, like what support you feel like you're missing, what traits you feel like you're missing. You can't go out searching for something if you don't know what you're going to find. I guess you can, but it'll just take you a lot longer. So understand what you are missing. And I want to say this too. How do we navigate finding those things that we are without in other people? I don't think you're going to like this answer. So I'm so sorry. Try to find those things in yourself. How can you support yourself? How can you find those specific traits that you need in yourself? I say that because it's good to rely on other people, and you always should rely on other people. But also it's important to understand how to rely on yourself and how to get those things that you might need from yourself, respectfully. I mean that in a good way. You can always find it in other people, and you should, but you can also make sure that you find it in yourself. But yeah, journal it down. Write down what you think you're missing. Also, write down why you think that you're missing those things, and then go from there. Thank you for your question, Bria. 21 years is a long time, and I'm really proud of you. This comment comes from O, just an O. It's been 15 months since they're gone, and everyone else has moved on. How do you process your grief when everyone expects you to be fine? I talked about this. I'll talk about it again. The only thing that you can control as you move forward in your grief journey is yourself. You're going to process your grief the way you process your grief, period. Whether people expect you to move on, whether you actually do move on, your grief is going to have to get processed eventually. And that's what I would encourage you to do. Honestly, the people telling you have to move on transparently. If you're not ready to do so, that has what they say and what they encourage you to do. If that's not what's best for you, that's not what's best for you. Take your time, give yourself grace, and also understand that it's important for you to communicate if you're not fine to the people that expect you to be fine. If people are expecting you to be okay and to move on, it's been this much time, X, Y, Z, it's important for you to stop and be like, hey, I know that you expect me to be like this, but I'm not. And I can't be. And guess what? It's a really hard thing to do, but it's important and it's okay for you to do so. So just do it. Just tell people how you're feeling. Tell people what you need, as hard as it is. Nessa asks, do you ever get afraid that you'll forget the sound of your mom's voice? I haven't heard my mom's voice in so long that I fear one day I won't remember what it sounds like. Absolutely, Nessa. Absolutely. I not only get afraid, I get terrified. But here's the thing. I often hear her voice in mine, in things that I say, in ways that I say them. I also want to encourage you for a second, because you know her voice. You always will know it. You knew it before you even entered the world. It was the first voice you ever knew. You'll never forget that. It's like so fair. It's so fair to feel like you will and to think that you will, but you'll never forget that. You know it. You always hear it in the back of your mind. I hope that was encouraging. Brittany asks, does everyone feel guilty nonstop, even knowing in their head that they did what they could and it wasn't enough? It's been almost 4 months and I feel guilt every day for not noticing every small change and never getting to say goodbye and apologizing before she was delirious. Yeah, Brittany. Yeah, I do feel guilty. I feel guilty for not responding to my mom's last text to me. She said, I love you, and I didn't respond. And I felt so guilty for that for so long. I was like so bummed. Your mom tells you love you, you don't respond, and she has a heart attack. Perfect. Here's what I'll say though. I like to believe that whenever our loved ones cross over to wherever you believe they go, wherever that place is, there's nothing but good and light and rainbows and sunshine and warm air and love. And so all of the quote unquote bad things, all of the things that you feel like they are holding on to, they're not. They're remembering the love, and they're remembering the kindness, and they're remembering the good things. So I would encourage you, it's really easy to feel guilty for the things that you didn't do or you should have done. But you're going to drive yourself crazy, Brittany. Remember the good things. Remember the love. And know that I like to believe as she was crossing over, and wherever she is now, that's what she remembers. And that's what she's thinking about. Hope that helps. My next question comes from Allie. Allie says, was your dad still alive at the time? He's still alive to this very day, living and breathing, residing in Tampa, Florida. She continues to say, my mom died in May, and I'm having a very hard time dealing with my dad and his massive need for attention every day to combat his loneliness. He's constantly making comments, making everyone feel guilty and inadequate for him feeling alone. I should say, I've got a lot of lifelong dad resentment issues also that I never talked to him about. Yeah. Now that my mom is gone, sadly, I just want not much to do with him and want to be left alone. He is a severe narcissist and very self-centered. Allie, I'm going to answer this by telling you to go and listen to the episode I did on my father a few weeks ago. The hardest part of my grief has been my dad. Watching my dad grief, being on the other end of his grief. And not to get into too many details because I don't really love talking about it, but I get it. And I feel very seen by your comment. Go listen to that episode. Let me know what you think. We often talk about our dead parent, but we neglect to talk about the parent that was left behind. I'm going to leave it at that. I love you though, Allie. I see you. I see you. I see you. I see you. It's really hard what you're dealing with. And I see you. Last question is from Internet. They said, did any of your parents walk you through what to do with every corner of space in their home after they've gone? Girl, I can't really fully relate to your question because my dad was still alive and my dad moved from my parents' home to a different home. But what I will say is what a trip it was going through that woman's clothes. And knowing you can't keep everything, but also knowing that what you don't keep is going to be donated, and that doesn't feel right either, because what if a strand of her hair is stuck on one of the sweaters that's donated and you want to keep that strand of hair? It's a really hard thing. And I think that grief brings a lot of attachment to things that you usually wouldn't have attachment to. Keep what's important, because tangibles are not something you can bring with you when you pass on. And our loved ones are a prime example of that. Keep what you know really matters. For me, I kept her sweaters. She was such a sweater girl. I kept her sweaters. I like to wear them sometimes. She liked trinkets. So my siblings and I kept her trinkets. She was a boss and worked a corporate job. And so I got to keep some of her suits, which I love to wear to work. I feel like such a baddie when I walk into the office with my mom's suit on. When I get compliments, I go, thanks, it was my mom's. Just like that. Keep what you want. Honestly, keep everything if you want. But that's a really hard thing that not a lot of people talk about. So thanks for shedding light on that today. That's all I got. Keep asking your questions, please. I love answering them because I feel like my perspective from the beginning of grief to now, like through my healing journey and therapy and talking about grief and all these things has been so different. I also read all of your comments. Newsflash, believe it or not, I really do sit and read through all of them. So I gain a lot of perspective on what you share with me. So I just want to say thank you. I'm really grateful for this being a safe space for you to share. It's never lost on me that you're here for a reason. And I feel overwhelmed and so humbled that this is your grief space. So thanks for being here. And I love you so much. And I'm so proud of you. I love you so much. We'll talk soon.